Helen, and welcome to our mentor show at Startups Ignite. Everyone, I'm honored to be introducing Helen Aggrey, First Deputy Corporation Counsel at the City of Yonkers, and also Chief Administrative Officer and General Counsel to Sabacica Capital.
I'm originally from Ghana in West Africa. So I came to the States over 20 years ago. I wanted to be in the business/entertainment sports field. Coming back to New York, I had the opportunity to work for a local municipality. But along the way, I kept my foot in the space of the businesses and entertainment world. My co-founder and managing director, Winnie Sabat, has a track in finance. So whenever she would work with any startup company on the finance side, she would always bring me into it on the legal side. So a lot of people would call me and say, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? Is this the right move? So I just, while working my main job in government, I still kept my hands and feet in the startup space and the entertainment/sports field.
I wanted to go to a point in your story where you were the first ever female African American to serve as Deputy Corporation Counsel.
When we maneuver through the space, you don't really think, oh, I'm going to be the first of anything. I came in as a junior associate into Yonkers, and again, I just did my job. I'm very meticulous in my job. I like to know as much as possible so that whenever I'm asked a question, I have the answer for you. If I don't know, I'll find the answer and I'll get back to you. And my boss at the time, who I consider a great mentor for me, he is a Caucasian male. He recognized my value to the team, and he recommended me for the promotion. And the mayor also recognized I was contributing to the city and agreed to appoint me as a deputy corporation counsel within 3 years of starting in Yonkers, which again, I was absolutely grateful and honored and humbled by it. And then when I got the appointment, that's when I found out that I was the first. I was like, wait, what? Because Yonkers is like the third largest city in the state of New York. And I would not have thought in 2017 or whatever it was that those still be firsts. So that kind of took me by surprise. But again, I was extremely humbled and greatly appreciate all my mentors that I've had along the way and them recognizing and continuing to nurture my profession.
Thank you for sharing that. You weren't even going for this, but people noticed and
Yes.
you were elevated out of all the hard work that you were doing. But it is actually very difficult, not to put words in your mouth. You're working at Sabacica Capital that's working specifically to help women and African American people get funding because it's so difficult, right? Statistically, it's just
Yes, like I usually mentor high school girls and people who are thinking of going to law school. One thing I always remind them is it doesn't matter who you come across, who you meet, you always have to be on your game. And the other thing I tell people is be your own boss. Everybody has the, oh, I need to get a job mentality, or I need to find a job and somebody tells me what to do. You're going to have a boss unless you work for yourself. But at the end of the day, always instill in yourself to be your own boss. So even if you have an employer, be your own boss in the sense of you take the initiative. You try to find solutions that your client couldn't think of themselves. You try and make your client's life as easy as possible, as opposed to waiting for them to tell you they need something or waiting for them to tell you, can you do XYZ? It's always like instinctual. You're already thinking about what their needs are. You're already ready for when that situation comes up. Oh, here's how you can maneuver. Oh, here's how you can move. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I really love that. I heard do the research, work hard, get knowledgeable, and get immersed, and then also take initiative.
Yes.
You must have seen a lot of startups by now. What is like one thing you think that's really important for a startup to not overlook in the earliest stages?
So it's always the basic things. How are you going to form? So yes, it's great. You have an idea, you want to get going, you want to start, you want to get it out there. Like always think about what your end goal is. Because one thing you don't want to do is start off with one entity and then later on you decide, oh, but you know what? I want to go for funding. Now you have to switch your whole business into a corporation. So now you're going to do double the work. The other thing, again, always have a good accountant on hand. I am not an accountant. When it comes to numbers, that's what I call Winnie for. I always joke that I went to law school because I like words, not numbers. So everything I tell you, make sure you have an accountant that you can pick up the phone and run through those scenarios. And then the other thing to think about, maybe not on the early stage, but still early, is trademarking and intellectual property. One thing you don't want to do is work on a product, come up with a name, come up with a logo, and start selling that product only to get a letter that says, cease and desist, I already have this name and you're infringing on my business.
I do really love that you're a lawyer, but you're also really talking about the importance of an accountant because you need both, like in every aspect of your startup. Bring on a co-founder, right? And then splitting the equity and just bring on advisors. All of that has a lot of legal and tax implications. You just download stuff from the internet and just, it's a way to do it. It's a way to move fast, but we really have to temper moving fast with huge, I would say, potential issues that cost you so much later on down the road when they can be averted early stage. And that's why we love having mentors like you in the program that the startups will listen to. So conversely to that, what is something that you see startups working on that maybe can be pushed on later on down the road?
Depending on what you are selling, what service you're providing, you may have to think of what does the federal government have to say about this, or what does my home state have to say about this particular product? Is there a push to ban whatever it is that you're working on, or is there a push to regulate whatever it is that you're working on? And then going back to your entity that you're creating, think also of your equity structure. Most startups always want to raise funds from investors. Think whole scale of what that means for your ownership of your business. One of the things you don't want is you sell yourself out of your own business, basically.
Absolutely. Sometimes we'll see founders giving away really large amounts of equity for a specific stage of their business, say like building the product or what have you. And then later on, it becomes a real issue. Basically, equity is everything that you have as a startup. Right? That's your lifeblood.
It all ties back to doing your research and having an end goal plan on what it is that you're starting. Even though you're only starting off here, and right now the only thing you're thinking about is getting through the pre-seed stage, have a general framework of what your company is going to look like from pre-seed all the way to IPO, should it ever get there. Founders
have to basically rapidly become knowledgeable in every aspect of business, and everywhere that you have a deficit of knowledge, it shows up significantly in your business, either currently or later on down the road. So I love that. Keep the end goal in mind. Nobody expects you to be an expert in the legal, in the regulatory laws, in accounting and all these things. Nobody expects that. Like you as a founder, you already had your skill set. You found that you had this idea, which is great. So always be able to reach out to people who are experts in those fields to give you the assistance. You don't have to do it by yourself. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's what you need to do at the beginning. And I love that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Helen. Awesome. Thank you.